Can you feel it in the air? Oh my gosh, this has been such a beautifully charged day. If you are in tuned, I am right there with you and sending lots of light and love to all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I have some instructions for you guys. I have some downloads. I have been urged to pass on the message to those of you who do these type of practices and those of you who are interested in trying. Right now, this portal is so powerful and the energy is abundance and manifestation. And I have been so in tune with it. The other day, I have these dice here, and I rolled them, and there are three of them, and I rolled one and it came up 1111, or excuse me, 11. And then I rolled the other one, the next one, and it came up 11. And then I rolled the other one, the last one, and it came up 11. So if you are a person that is in tune with numbers and you know about the master number 11 and you know how much abundance and good luck is connected to it. I'm not saying it's the luckiest of numbers, but it's definitely a very abundant number. So I have been urged to tell you all, my lovelies, my wonderful earth angels, take a spiritual bath. And with this spiritual bath, set your intentions. And if you are a person that is looking to manifest abundance, I'm going to give you just a little partial, let's say, nug, um, something that will help you to manifest very quickly, allegedly, right? But definitely it works for me, and I just wanted to share. So, using anything like you can take cloves if you have cloves, and I prefer organic cloves, but whatever cloves you use, but real cloves, boil it in some water, and you'll make this really beautiful, like amber color water. Let it soak until it's like so dark, really, really dark. And once it's really dark, it's like this water, it'll take about a day or so to get darker. And with that water, just keep it, you can keep it refrigerated or keep it cool, but put a couple of capfuls in your bath water when you set your intention. Now, we know that cloves are very lucky, they bring a lot of luck and abundance. But whenever I take a bath, you can also sprinkle in some cinnamon. If you want to do like an oil, you can use different oils and put in some bay leaves. And I'm not going to give you all of my nugs, but these are just little quick ones that take you a spiritual bath. It will definitely help, especially if you're focused on your intention. And money is connected, luck is connected with cloves, it's connected with olive oil, castor oil. All of these have very spiritual, and not just spiritual like now, but ancient biblical healing properties, especially for your finances. And if you're working on bringing abundance into your life and fast, this is a good way to do so. Definitely prayer and fasting and all of those things, of course. But I have such a beautiful reading for you guys. And my couple is like, oh, they're such a beautiful couple, and they're all about that money, man. So I've been channeling like this really, really powerful like force, this energy. And I got up today, and I pretty much fasted most of the day. And I do that almost every day already, but I I really only ate like once today, and it was such a small meal, but I'm still so like charged. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and I just couldn't go back to sleep because I felt like I have to like do everything that I've been setting my intentions. I feel like that full moon that we just passed kind of gave me a moment to slow down. I definitely did a spiritual bath and I cried. And something else that I wanted to say is if you're feeling like you're just bogged down and you're just burdened by life and things that are really getting to you, taking a spiritual bath will definitely heal you. And those same oils are good, the castor oil or the olive oil, and not a lot, just a capful or so. And just setting your intention that you're ready to let go and heal and just release all of the things that you've been burdened by. And what I've been realizing is a lot of what we do when we pray, especially growing up Catholic and being and some of the other different places that I've gone and prayed, you get down on your knees. And if what they're saying is real, right, that beneath our feet is this underworld that people who are evil go to, then the idea of being sad or feeling burdened or heavy and being on your hands and knees, I think it's like almost, it's definitely a submissive position. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't submit to Yahuwah, Yeshua, that you shouldn't submit to Buddha, to Allah, whomever you serve. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I remember going to a Christian church for the first time with my father. And we were standing and we had our palms up in the air and we were listening to the music and praising. And I remember even some of the women that were there, and a few men who were, sobbing, and they had their hands up. And I just felt like this energy and this light coming from them, like they were receiving, they were releasing, but receiving. And I'm just saying that because when I took the spiritual bath, I've been doing a lot of this, paying attention to how my palms are positioned because that's how we receive, right? So keeping my palms up while I'm praying, keeping my palms up while I'm releasing that fear, that anguish, that, sadness, that even anger, jealousy, envy, anything that may be in my spirit that's latched on, that's holding on to me, letting it go. I've been holding my hands up and not keeping my hands in a fist, because sometimes when we're mad, that's what we do. But then if you really think about it, aren't you just holding on to everything if you're doing this? So the motion of just letting it go seems so spiritually and even physically correct. So I'm almost done preaching. So just thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your light. Thank you so much for shining it with me, or shining today with me. And make sure that you do like or subscribe if you haven't been here before. I am Native Earth Angel, and I know I've repeated this. That's what happens when you're up at 3 a.m. and you're just like, that's my energy right now. So I have this beautiful couple, and this couple is all about that money. And the song that's just been going through my mind on a repeated cycle, and I know why. I saw the video not too long ago, and I definitely love her so much. So please forgive me. The lyrics aren't exact, and I know this, but I know this is a message for you, collective. Someone out there needed to hear this. So it's Aaliyah's "It's been too long and I'm lost without you. Is your heart still mine? I wanna cry sometime. Wondering if you're the same and who's been with you. I miss you. Ay, ay. So that is the vibe, okay? Someone is like, it's been too long and I'm lost without you. I just miss you. And it's like that, it's like how they feel. they're like choked up on their words. They don't know what to say, how to say it. But I feel like there's been a level up, because I love that we have a king and a queen, and take this energy how it applies, whether this is a feminine or a masculine energy. It's, you know, I can exude masculine energy and I'm a female. So it's all about who this is. Please do not force this to fit. Make sure that you're taking what applies and leaving the rest. I definitely appreciate you again. But we have this, this level, this even level. We have a masculine and a feminine on an even level. So we have, I feel that there's been a distance there. And again, if you're in the same home or if you're separated, take it how it applies. That doesn't matter. There's just been a void, an absence. And for some of us, it's definitely been a separation, because I definitely feel that. But I feel like with some of these couples, there's a couple that there are some couples that have just had almost a loss of ways. And there's even been like a thought, or maybe even a idea to go your own way. And I have a lot for this message, and I had to write some of it down because it's so much. So we also have, I've been called to say that we have, of course, don't force it. Um, we have today, let's see, it's been like, I don't know, I've been feeling like there's been like an emotional roller coaster. So last week we had rain, and then we had like a clearing of everything. And it was just one day of rain, and it rained hard. It rained like it was going to keep raining. And then it just cleared up, and then that was it. It was no more clouds. So I feel like there's been almost a cleansing, like a release, like just letting go of everything that didn't serve this couple, that didn't serve this person, that didn't serve your life. Almost like there's been almost a cleaning out. Like you might have even did like some spring cleaning, like getting rid of a bunch of stuff that you don't want or need, maybe pictures, things that are connected to old relationships, things that you've just been holding on that remind you of things that you just want to let go of. So there was that. And then there was a crow that had like a full conversation with me. And it was like looking at me, and it was talking to me. And I talk to animals, I talk to plants, I talk to the trees, I talk to everything. I have my beautiful plants here. I speak to them, okay? Because they have a spirit, right? Um, I I feel connected, and I definitely feel that we all are, right? We're just energy. We're the making of energy. So anyway, I was speaking to this crow. I saw it and it looked at me, and I said, "Hi, how are you?" And it spoke right back to me, and it just looked at me as it was speaking, and then it had more to say. And then it flew up and it just watched me as I went on my way. So I took that definitely as a message, like you're being watched, you're being protected, because I didn't feel like it was a deceptive eye, or an evil eye. I felt like it was a protective, almost an ancestral eye. Like if you've had someone that's crossed over recently, their eye is with you and they're watching you and they're taking care of you as much as they possibly can. So I've also been called to say something about spell work. There is someone out there that has been doing spell work, love spells in particular, and spells with finance and things of that sort. So I'm here to say, if that's you, stop. None of that stuff works. You may feel like, oh my gosh, this person is calling me, they're paying attention to me, but everything you take from a person, because you're taking something from not just the person that they're meant to be with in the future, you're taking something from that person themselves. I have been a person that has had a spell put on me. And it was at a time that, people, especially Christians, we love to say, oh no, it couldn't happen to me. But yeah, if you have that down south, if you a Creole woman, like my family, that's what we consider us, right? We're Native, we're African or Black, we're African and Black, and I consider that the same thing. But now we have the FBA. Well, we're the FBA Black as well. And we have a little bit of French from our father's side and a little bit of Caribbean. So with all of those different, cultures, we have these beliefs, and we still go to church, and we still believe in Yahuwah, Yeshua. We still pray, we still fast, we still do all of those things. So I'm saying this to say, those people that feel like it's nothing, it is, and you can be a person that is a good person. At the time, I was going to church 3 times a week. I was singing in the choir, and someone put something on me. Now, I'm not going to go into details. I'm going to share a lot of my stories because you guys would not believe the synchronicities and the signs and the experiences, the telepathic, the precog things that I've had happen in my life. I've mentioned before that I actually saved a family member. Multiple family members have been saved, and in my life by my visions that I've had. So that's why I'm here. So allegedly, right? I'm here to share because there are people that need my light, and I've been inside protecting myself, not wanting to share and tell anyone who I am. I was a part of the GATE program as well. I was in the GATE program. I will talk about a lot of this on my TikTok channel. The link will be here very soon. I have to prepare myself to come out and share these type of things. But for you out there, if you're doing any kind of spell work, just be aware that those spells that you do, it will come back to you. You will lose, and you will get stuck in a cycle, a repetitive cycle of having pretty much the same thing happen to you over and over. And these cycles can even go past this lifetime into multiple lifetimes, whether you believe it or not. It can. So I've also been called to talk about soul ties. There's some men out there. I saw some of a video. I didn't watch all of the video yet. And men are talking about soul ties. So I was called to say this to men and to women. If you feel like there's a soul tie, here's a thing, right? A soul tie can be someone putting spell work on you. So you want to be careful, and you definitely want to cleanse yourself, doing a spiritual bath. If you believe in, going to someone and having them pray over you or pray on you, um, fasting, doing different spiritual practices, maybe removing things that are connected to this person that can be tying you to that person. If you have a tattoo of that person on you and you feel like you have a soul tie, of course you do. You've been branded. You branded yourself for this person. So you're going to have a soul tie with that person. If you guys bought something together, it's unfortunate, but you really may have to get rid of that. I'm so deep with it, and I'm so Creole. When I get rid of a person, when I'm not dealing with a person, I'll even have just separate bedding and things that I have for a person, unless you're my husband. And if there's a husband, when I got divorced from my first husband, everything had to go. Bedding, pillows, all of those things. You think about it, this person laid and slept on it, especially if it's a person that thinks nothing of you. So that means they were laying in your bed on your pillow thinking nothing of you. So that energy, every time you lay down, it's you. You almost become that person as you lay there. Again, that's why I'm abstinent, because I'm not going to let anyone lay inside of me with evil thoughts. I want to share my life, and I want to share my body and my spirit, my energy, my path with someone, but it has to be the right person because I refuse to allow for someone to come up off of me. You cannot come off of me. You cannot come up off of me. I will not let any person do that. That is not okay. So I've been called to say, you know, if it's a soul tie, if this person, you now, a soul tie can also be a person that you wronged, men and women. If you had a person that was loving, that was respectful, that was kind to you, and you wronged them, you will have a soul tie to them. You will have almost that same relationship repeat. It will almost be a karmic cycle that you will be stuck in, and you will be almost forced to make amends with that person. And you can make amends with that person, and you can clear the slate. I've had a person do that to me, who wronged me, who did horrible things to me, and they actually reached out and told me everything that they had been going through, and they made a point to just keep giving to me and giving to me. Now, this is not stuff that I asked for. They made offers, and I said, yeah, sure, you can give me this or you can give me that. And they kept giving to me until basically they felt like their karma was clean. And at some point, I believe that their karma was clean. I didn't hear anything negative happening to that person. Now, chosen people, you know that if someone wrongs you, not good things will happen to them. And sometimes instantaneously, and sometimes it takes a while. So if there's a soul tie because you wronged a person, you must make amends. If you feel like I can't get her out of my mind, or I can't get him out of my mind, and you wrong that person, you're not going to get them out of your mind, because this is a soul tie, and that's your karma. You're connected to that person. Your soul is connected to that person because that was probably your soulmate, or your twin flame, or both your soulmate and your twin flame. So I'm gonna step off of my little soapbox right now and just say to someone out there, to some people out there, collective, take it how it applies. You have either a soul tie because you have not done right in to this person, and it could even be in a different life. So maybe until you meet that person, if that's the case, try a cleansing bath, try to pray, try to do the things that you need to do. We have some tribes as a native that believe in cutting some of your hair. You might not cut all of your hair. Maybe you cut an inch, 2 inch. It depends on what you feel and what your culture or what your beliefs are. But that can be a thing, right? Cutting that hair and burning it, right? I know natives and Creoles, we can do that, right? We burn our hair to make sure that it's like you can break that bond and break that tie that way. But again, if this is a soul tie of someone that you wronged, be aware the cycle will continue until you do right by that person. So I'm done preaching. I've been called to say that, and that was everything from my card, and we can keep going. Okay, so I have a beautiful reading here. Now let's start somewhere here with this manifestation, because it is 11:11. So here is the card right here. Let's see, can you see it? I've manifested the impossible before, and I will do it again. So that is this male and this female, because a king of diamonds and a queen of diamonds, you think about diamonds, right? Diamonds, that's money. That's money. That's money all the way. And it's not to say that it has to be the luckiest. And it was 717 on my clock as I say this. So the manifestation has begun. There, this is a group of people. These people, not only are you good with money, but you're attractive, and you have what people call that light and that energy that people are just drawn to. What do you say? The it factor, right? It's You're just a beautiful person inside and out, and you and this person is, even if somehow this person lost their way. So first I have Mother Earth, and that is the vibe that I'm getting from this connection. I feel like together you guys both feel like you're walking with your shoes off in Mother Earth, like you're on Mother Earth, like you're dancing in a powwow, like you are celebrating, like you are connecting with your ancestors, because that's another reason why we can connect to the ground, right? We bury people. Some people bury people. A lot of people in my family, we cremate us. But for some people, we bury them, and maybe you get on your hands and knees to connect with them, to praise them, to lift them up, to connect to your ancestors. So Holy Spirit wants me to tell you that this is fertile ground. This relationship, this connection, this time period in your life, this 1111 abundance, this portal, it's fertile ground. It's fertile ground. You are ready to birth your goals. You are ready to bring forth your desires. You are ready for everything that has been awaiting you. And if there was any kind of spell work, and maybe that's why I was drawn to say that, maybe the spell work was done on you. Again, that spiritual bath will cleanse you. Maybe I didn't finish my thought because it's so many in my head, but that spiritual bath can also cleanse you if you have had some kind of spell work, whether it's a soul tie spell work or a, a love um, connection that was broken, a spell that someone may have put on your person and also affected you, and maybe drained you, and maybe even drained your desire to want relationships and connections. So these cards are so beautiful. Here is our next card, and we have the matriarch. And I love that we have these women that came out first, because this energy is very nurturing and it's very abundant. You think of the earth, right? It grows everything. Mother gives us everything. It gives us water, it gives us food, it gives us all that we need. So here we have the matriarch, and she is holding her baby, and she has this light around her head, and it's nurtured the harvest. So this growth, this growing season, everything that is coming your way, this light, this love, this abundance, it is your time. Embrace it. And we have the unknown here. And I love that this was the last card that showed up, because what I believe is that we have this fertile ground. So that's you planting all those seeds in the ground. And then the nurturing. And it's not just this relationship, it's your life. So you nurtured this. And now skies are the limit. There is no telling where you're headed, it's no telling where you're going. This force, this connection, and especially if you just allow everything to fall into place, because it says right here, together we're unbreakable. Then it follows up. Hope shapes your future more than pain ever could. So, whatever pain happened, not just in this connection, not just in your life, not just in maybe your finances or your history, your family history, your ancestral connection with finances, whatever bonds, whatever ties, whatever, even if there were roots and spell work, I feel like you're the break of this. I feel like you're the freedom. I feel like you're the one that is looking at the past and in, not duplicating it, but embracing it and learning from it and building a brighter path for your future. I believe that you're looking into, you may be even one of these people, you may be even one of these like star seed like travelers like myself. You may be like an astral baby. You may have this ability to like go to all these different places, timelines, worlds, like dimensions. You may really be like this being, this force that can see things, feel things, walk into the room, know things, super lucky, always envied. I'm just getting this vibe that there is so much of a force, and I feel like this is a twin flame connection. I feel like you and this person have this same thing about you, that you tend to be leaders, though you like isolation, but people miss your presence. They love your presence when you're around, they love your energy. Even if it's a negative encounter, even I feel like you have people who love to bring the light out of you and people who love to bring the darkness out of you. And I feel like, collective, I'm being called to say to know the difference and to protect yourself, because there are people out here that are draining you and they're taking a part of you that will take a long time for you to rebuild and get back. I'm learning to open my heart once more. So, someone in this relationship was cut off. And I believe it's for those of us out there that had a distance, for those of us who had a break in the relationship, there was definitely a lesson that was taught and learned. And this person is relearning how to open their heart again. I forgive you for me and for us, you see? So I think whoever did the hurting is being forgiven, even if they haven't apologized, because there is a need. Let's see, moving right along. I had a few that I laid out. I have balance here. There was a need for balance. And I feel like not only in this relationship, I feel like with you both. And I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to get real. Like, I feel like someone needed to just take some freedom here. And with the freedom that they took, you, whomever, welcomed it, because it was an even situation, if that makes sense. There was a person that doubted you and maybe even the connection, but I'm getting that somebody doubted you. Somebody felt like you're not who I think you are. You're not who you say you are. Did you put a spell on me? So somebody thought you put a spell on them. And they thought that this mystical, magical kind of power that you have over individuals, because people fucking love you. They love you. They love your light. They love your energy. They love they love your style. They love your swag. They just love everything about you. They love your realness. They love you. And this person was like, thinking that you were fake, and I'm not sure if they were thinking or they had outside forces like energetic people, who said this about them, who focused in on what they felt like were negative qualities. I feel like this couple, even though they're both a king and a queen of diamonds, I feel like they're different. I feel like they're from different walks of life. I feel like maybe like completely different walks of life. Like maybe someone is like, I'm getting like this, somebody is like a Pac energy, like this. All I need in my life is sin is me and my girlfriend. Like this energy, like, man, that's all I need is me and my girlfriend kind of energy. And even if you're the wife, like that's that vibe. They're like thugs. But I'm also given this energy, like, even though like Pac was like, he had this rough side of him, but he also was very articulate, and he was wise. He had a very good mind, right? And 33 on my timer as I said that. um I feel like this connection is very opposites attract, like night and day. Like maybe there's, whether it's a masculine energy that is a kind of, you know, kind of hood, kind of street, kind of, got that swag, kind of like swagger kind of energy, or the female has that kind of energy, and the male is kind of like, you know, bougie or nerdy. Maybe they have an extensive education. Take it how it applies. I just feel like it's opposites. Maybe, this is an ex-con and the person is a lawyer or a officer. There's this opposites that I'm getting here, like a deep opposites as well. So I feel like this person needed this freedom because whoever this is was doubting you. And they felt like, what makes you so special? And they ended up taking their moment, and you, whomever you were, you exhibited this type of strength that made you even more beautiful. Like when I look at this, there is this beauty here. Like, I think this is a leopard, and whatever animal this is, it's just gorgeous. And it says, build your power in silence, waiting for the right moment to reveal your quiet strength. So I believe that just in your quiet, that you became like hella fine. Like they were like, man, so they're not going to chase me. I don't really know what's going on with them. They're not really telling me what's going on with them. So it just really, I don't know, I feel like it made you even more attractive, whether it's a divine feminine or masculine energy. So when I took cards from this section, I said, let me just take 11. And I love the 11 that showed up. So we had balance, freedom, silent strength. And then we have an awakening because that's what just happened. There has been an awakening, and you have been longing and wanting to belong, and you've had this desire for a belonging, and that's why this connection meant so much to you. Because I feel like even if you do have this hood type energy, you're really still a bit of a nerd at heart, and this energy from this partner made you feel accepted. They made you feel like you could be yourself, and you don't get that from your normal type. Like when you date the people that know you, they are like, man, what's up, man? You watching this, man? Why you watching this, man? What's up, man? Why you talking about that? What you talking about? Like they don't really understand that deeper connection, mainly because they're low vibrational. And I just got to call it out. And this is getting very timely. I didn't want this message to be very long, but I just have to say all that I have to say. You have been spending time with very low vibrational people. I'm not sure whom I've been speaking to. Yes, spirits do carry spirits. Alcohol does carry alcoholic spirits. I have seen it. I've seen it myself. I've watched people take a drink and the spirits jump into them. Now, you can pray and make sure that you keep yourself protected as you do drink. I do advise that if you do, and make sure you do drink wine or maybe beer. Stay away from hard alcohol. They do carry spirits and they have a negative energy. And I have a feeling that you have a friend group that's all you do. Now, it's different if you guys do other stuff, but you drink. Like I had a party girl crew, and we used to party and we had fun and we danced and we kicked it. But when we would dance and kick it, maybe, we would drink. That's different than we just get together and we just drink. We would go together, shopping. We would do daytime things. We would eat together. We would do things together, break bread, pass the peace pipe. We would do things together. Now I feel like the energy that I'm getting is that you have to protect yourself because you have light in you, and you have been sent dominion, inner demons who want dominion over you, and they're coming into your life via your vices. Whatever vices you're using, alcohol, smoking, um, hard drugs, and I do mean smoking cigarettes, not the peace pipe. I feel like if you're overindulging in passing the peace pipe, then watch yourself because they're trying to get in that way as well. I feel like they're trying to corrupt you, and you're being sent these demons. They want dominion over you to keep you off your path. They want to keep you from being your full potential. They want to keep you from being who you are supposed to be. And they are really tricksters. They have a lot of trickery. They pretend like they have the answer, like they have the light. Come over here because you're going to be famous with me. I'm going to get you to the next level. I have the money. I have the keys. I have the answer. They don't. They have alcohol. They have drugs. They have temporary money that they have been gifted temporarily that will fade once they don't complete their mission. So that's why you keep getting these connections and realizing that the people you keep getting connected to have something and then all of a sudden they don't. And they lose everything, and they're losing everything because the time is up. Watch your back, watch your back, watch your back. I've just been called to say that. So you've been called to find your actual tribe. Your vibe connects your tribe. So make sure that you have a positive, uplifting, uplifted vibe, enlightened, studied vibe. Study your environment. Look around. Look at what you see. When you go to someone's house, don't just be excited because they let you in, especially if you're dating. Look around. Look what you see. How do they keep their home? What kind of energy did you pick up on when you entered that home? What kind of energy do they give you when you're around them, when you speak to them? That belonging that you're desiring, you're not going to get it by completing and repeating this cycle, by chasing after, if you're connected with that soul tie, if I'm speaking to you. And that is a small part of the collective that I'm speaking to. You keep chasing after these people, and I want to say girls or women, that remind you of this person because you want to be with that person. They're not that person. Until you make amends and do right by that person, you're going to be in this karmic cycle, repeating it over and over and over, trying to find love. So you won't find where you belong with these people, because once the glitz is over, you realize that you're lost and locked in with someone that only knows your street side, that doesn't know your other side, that doesn't know your deep side, that doesn't know your educated side. Even if you didn't get an education, they don't know that you have a brain, because you don't have to go to college to get an education. I have 3 degrees. I've met some people that are smart and they don't have any degrees. So I just had to share that. There is empathy. There's empathy that you've shared, and there's empathy that that person is sharing towards you and that they have found now. And that is what this connection really needed. They needed to find their empathy. They needed to understand what you experienced. I feel like you went through a lot in this relationship that they didn't understand, whether it was homelessness, whether it was a loss of money, a loss of job, a loss of wealth. Maybe you were really, really wealthy and you lost it all, and you got with this person and they just didn't understand you. Well, they had to experience loss to experience what you experience in order to make this twin flame union work. So rooted, we have rooted in courage. So I stumbled when I said that, because I feel like there's been a lack of courage. I feel like the root has been in fear. So I am here to call you to find your courage, to root yourself in courage, to find your way to the light, to find your way back to this love, because this love does bring you out. It brings out your wisdom and it brings out the light in you. Look how this book is illuminated. You get to be yourself. You get to be who you really are. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I feel like I've gone on and on and on and just chatted and chatted and chatted. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helped someone out there with in the collective. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your light, and I thank you for your love. Shine on, my earth angels.